Welcome to the channel and welcome to Outside My Workshop. Today we're going to do a bit of a tour around the workshop. You'll see my workshop split into two areas. We're going to have a look at both of those in the current state. If you're on the Facebook page, you'll have seen it was in a right state yesterday. After 6 years of acquiring stuff, it's got full. So I had a bit of a clean up yesterday, but I think there's room for improvement. So we're going to not only look at the layout of the workshop, but also we're going to start doing some improvements to it for material storage, and just storage in general. So we'll flip the camera around and then we'll do a quick tour. Cheers. So this is my workshop. It's a shed about 7 foot wide. I think it's 19 feet long. It's split into two parts. So we're going to go through the main door. You'll see, remember I fitted that a few weeks ago. And we have this area first of all. This is the junk area of my workshop. So zoom out a little bit there, that's a bit better. We're here to store things like DIY stuff, paint, larger materials. As you can see, there's some there. And also you can see it's got my compressor in it. You'll see a quad bike there. That's a future project. I need to get that running and get that over to my garage. The compressor is set up, so it's a 50-litre compressor. I'm not sure if you can see. It then splits off with a T and goes to both an air supply and an oiled supply. This needs some work to get this working properly. I've got leaks on it, and I don't think this is working properly because it's constantly pissing out air. These go through, and you'll see on the other side these pickups for those, so I can use them in the workshop. This is due a tidy up. I'm going to relocate a lot of the DIY stuff to the garage and free up some storage for in here. But honestly, this isn't as bad as it usually is. Okay, working through, we've got a doorway, and this is my workshop. You usually see the bottom end of it there, but we're going to walk around it all. So just to locate you, we've got at this end we've got material storage, we've got projects, tools, that's my camper parts, that's the future project. If I spin around, rattle cans, mainly paint in there, and then we've got other storage down here like my router, LED strip stuff, that's LED strips, Walkman parts, and other parts for projects. These are the two, I'll cover that, two air lines that come through. So I've got an oils line, so I don't have to oil them in my air tools, and a direct air line, which is a clean air line, which is useful because this will reach onto the driveway. Air tool storage, and if I zoom back this way, we also have some material storage over here, and there are some larger tools down the bottom there, like my bandsaw and a scroll saw, things like that. We see it's a bit of a mess. Just spinning around, got my work toolbox chests with a mixture of things in there, and then we've got a selection of materials, things like that. We've got U-clips, Jubilee clips, split pins, riv nut gun, copper washers, things like that, stuff that I can just grab when I need to. Below that is a big steel chest I got from my old works place, and that's what all my power tools are stored in there. Nice and secure, it locks. We'll keep going around. We've got some material storage down the side here. Bench grinder, that's fixed to the bench. Sander, that isn't, but it can be moved around, moving around. Pillar drill running through there. You'll have seen some of this on some videos. This is basically my stereo mini disc recording setup I have here. I can play anything through here. Some benches, some current projects that I'm looking at the moment. Working through, if you normally see the overhead, looking down on here, I've got my screws, driver setups here, and a few other bits and pieces that are useful, mini files, things like that. Again, just materials and things like that more, and so there's like bolts and things are all in here, and switches and metal angles. This is still being filled up. Underneath here we've got material storage. We can get in a hoover. Right at the back is a chop saw. That's my socket set sat in there. That was recently purchased. The cabinet that's got other bits and pieces in, like chargers and other bits and pieces. We've then got big tub of bolts and screws go in there. Beyond that is potential bits and pieces I keep hold of for future projects. Again, we've got another bucket of little bits and pieces. There's all sorts I keep hold of. Same with all of this below here. Again, as you come around, got the same thing onto this one. Say welder, that's all painting stuff. Then we've got more project storage or parts in there. Mini disc stuff and car stereos. Cleaning stuff. A router table, just moving around. Table saw. I'm sure the bits and pieces, and we come back up onto the top. As we spin round, so I'll move around this way. We've then got my ferrex storage for all my power tools, and on the bench currently we've got parts from my Scirocco. So we've got the speakers for the shelf, headlights, grille. These have all been refurbed at some point. You might have seen I've got the rear shelf, which has got the 6x9 speakers in it. That's currently in here as well. So yeah, this is pretty tidy. At the moment, at one point, all that countertop was taken up with just stuff and boxes and things. So I've relocated a lot of it to the garage just to free up some more space. But today I'm looking at all these tubs I've got up here. These were great when we first set the workshop up, but they're just full of crap at the moment. I don't know what's in them, so I'm thinking of putting another shelf along there and getting rid of all of that, relocating the stuff that is in there into other things. I think having a long shelf there with a decent amount of depth to it means I can stack stuff and maybe relocate some of this stuff from here and maybe some of these tool tubs here over to that's the more handy at the main workbenches that I work to. That's the plan. I've dug out a load of shelf brackets. I picked a load of these up right at the start of the job. You see I've used everywhere from IKEA for like, I think they were about 50-60p each. I bought loads of these, so I've got a load of those. I've got some old wardrobe doors, which I can cut in half to make the shelf. So the plan is then to say put a shelf in here and try and reorganize the majority of this and get rid of what I don't need. So yeah, this is my workshop. I'll just scan around it. So this is the end you don't normally see, with the airlines and the tool chests and all bits and pieces that are in here. Need to repair on my workbench. I'll put one, it's split, or I might buy a new one, I'm not sure yet. Behind it, that, believe it or not, is a mold for a skateboard. There's all sorts stored in here, which isn't really needed. So yeah, today's job really is continuing with the tidied up and getting all this done behind me, cleaned up and put away, because I need storage. I've got limited space up high. You can see how close it is to my head here. If I'd realised when I bought the shed, I'd have got it a foot taller to get more storage in above, but I didn't. So we're limited on wall space, and I'm limited on height. So any space I can create on the walls, I'm going to start looking at in more detail. So this is the first phase, is to do this. The second phase will be to reorganize these shelves and relocate a lot of this stuff, particularly the DIY stuff, is going to be relocated to my garage, because if I don't really need it, I can just drive over and pick it up. I'll do that. So this will clear up this space. I think we're going to move some of the large tools into here, which will free up some space in there for material and project storage. So let's get set up and start working through all of this stuff that's up here. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to go yet, so I'm just going to start working through. Let's get rid of my helping hands. They can go over there out of the way. Get rid of this lamp. This can go over there out of the way. And start working through these. So, zip tie bags. We'll keep all of those. They're useful for parts. We got here. Roofing fixings. They're useful. Those, I need those. We'll put those in there. You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a bag. I'm going to get a rubbish box. So just screws and stuff. Don't need any of that. That one. Air compressor parts, they'll go into a shelf over there. That's no good. The rest of that is just rubbish. If we've got here Velcro, useful stuff, we'll put it over there, the window. Fuses, we'll put those somewhere. We've got here, that's rubbish. I don't know what that's for. Looks like an earthing strap. We'll get rid of that. In fact, no, that can go into the parts bin. It might come in useful for something. So that's that one dealt with. So out of that, we've got virtually nothing. Let's put that up there for a moment. I'll put that in the cleaning tub. That's usually what it's for until I can get something else. So rubbish, and we've got tongue depressor things. Right, so I saw another box of these somewhere. There they are. All of these can go into my storage behind me. So I'll just get an empty one of these. That can go in there. For now. What else was in here? Alpine white. Need that. That's Scirocco paint. That can go there next to the other one. Got an elf badge. So we'll keep all of that. And then everything else in here. Oh, that's interesting. What's snapped off here? That's snapped. How's that snapped? Oops. Go. I'll have a look at this, see if I can fix it. Have a look at that. Keep all of that. Other than that, everything else in there is rubbish. So that's going and starting. Right, get rid of this one. Tin foil. Don't really need tin foil. Don't know what that is. Copper grease. I've got another one somewhere, so we'll get rid of that. Don't know what that's for. That's that one cleared out. Right. Parts for hose pipes. So we don't need that. Over here. Oh, let's get one of these up. Oops. These are non-stick flooring things, so I'll keep hold of those. We've got a gun thing for putting in, making labels. Scirocco register, vintage, and I'll say vintage, old school window stickers, and 2006 national meat stickers. So we're going to put those somewhere safe because they will go back onto my Scirocco. We'll see that's rubbish, and that's that one empty. Next one over. We've got to move this back a little bit so we get more room. I keep buying these, and they're useful for doing filler and for doing some sanding. So I've got a few packs of these. I want to keep these together, so there's a few packs of these knocking around. They need to go into the van, the camper van. On the end. When we go away, we've got glue. I could do with having a glue section really somewhere. So that's glue. What's this? Filler. Manual filler for projects. Torch, need that. I've got a project we're going to need that for, so we'll store that down here. So we've got these sticky feet. Oops, what's this? That was a project I started to do with Scirocco signed, only white. Never got around to finishing it. We'll put that down the back there so we can get to it. Let's get this. So again, more parts for hose pipes. More stickers, which we'll keep for my Scirocco when he comes back from refurb. Don't know what that is. That's rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. 53 sticker. So that's that one dealt with. What's in here? Multi-purpose grease. Put that down there. Go back on. Paint. I can go in my paint stuff. It's a general paint. What's in this bag? So what have we got in here? These are for one of my big tools, so I'm going to keep hold of that. Knives. Put those somewhere over here. They're useful. Craft knives. I don't think I need that. I know what these are for. These came off, I think, a jigsaw. So I'm going to keep hold of those because they might be useful for something else. plasters, yeah. And that's that one emptied. What was in here? What was this? Fuses. Not sure what they are. They seem to be some sort of copper valve or release valve. So I'm not sure what they are. So I'm just going to keep all of these on here. I'll have another tidy up them through later. I've forgotten now. Gorilla tape. So glue effectively. Old sunglasses. Rust prevention. So of course always using this on the Scirocco and the van whenever I do any rubbing down or work so they can stay. Graphite powder for locks rather than grease. You need to keep all of that. Glue. Is that a gold pen? Gold pen. I can go there for the moment. What's this? Rust remover. Colour filler worktops. We'll keep all of that as some colour filler. And the rest of that is rubbish. Next one. Sticky tabs. They're probably knackered. Let's just go through what this is. A step down transformer. This was for the back of the Scirocco originally to drop the voltage down for the LEDs. Didn't really work, but I'll put this over in the electronics bit. I'll go in there for parts. What are these? Do not remove protective layer. Oh, these are from my grinder things. This is for the face mask. Bulbs. Bought for the Scirocco. Wrong back ends on them, but I'll keep them anyway. Again, more of these. More sticky tabs they can go. Keep all of that. Nice tabs, sticky tabs. Offset pins. Now I'll put these somewhere safe. I'll put those over there. That's going to be knackered glue stick. More indicator bulbs, just orange ones. Remove these from my Scirocco because I didn't want the egg look in my clear indicators, so I'll put that somewhere. Got what's this? It's a fountain pen. If it is a fountain pen, it's probably knackered. Oops, it is knackered. So zip ties, don't really need any of that. That's that one dealt with. Right, so let's moving on. Self-adhesive fake leather. You never know. Right. I did say I collected a lot of these, so that's that. Right, let's get this one up here. Sprung wire. I have no doubt we'll need that. Now then, that mask is too old. That can go. A little bit of rubber hose. This is useful. It's the right size for bleeding brakes. So I have some brake bleeding kit, but it's always used to have an extra little bit. Now in here, my missus used to work at a kitchen shop, and they had samples. So I have all these samples. And you're thinking, why are they keeping all these? These snap, and they're really good for doing filler to smooth out. I know I've got all the other ones, but I don't mind breaking these and using these. So I'm going to keep hold of the small ones. Whereas the big ones, I think I'll get rid of because they're too big. I'll get rid of the rest of these. I'll put that in a minute. Can go rubbish. That's full of filler. That can go. Yep, that's that. And what's this? This is probably something for one of my. Yeah. This is the offset for my jigsaw. So that will go in there. Right, next one. Just going to grab this. Oops. Hairdryer, essential for drying paint and other bits and pieces. So that's going to stay around. Oh, got some bulbs there. Right, next one. What have we got? We'll get rid of that. Don't need the sponges. In fact, we'll keep half a sponge. You never know. Could be useful. What are these? Mechanical pencils. I forgot I had these. Again, more useful in the workshop, so put those somewhere. Cutting discs. I've got storage down here for things like cutting discs. Not brown. What's this for? Fast enamel drying paint. It's wood stain. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be very good. It's all stuck to the bottom, so we'll get rid of that. And again, these are knackered. I'm not sure what they are. They look like feet for something, so we can get rid of those. Don't need those. In fact, no, we'll keep those. They can go in the material or the project pile. Copper wire. This has become really useful for handing tools up, handing like works I'm on, or like paint. So keep that. Not sure what these are. I think these are from my compressor. I think these are extension pieces. We'll keep hold of those. Again, stuff like that is useful for me for our future projects if we can keep that knocking around. I don't want to get rid of stuff like that. And the rest of this can go in here. Right, next one. Right, we've got a general house light bulb that needs to go inside to the house. And then we've got light bulbs. We've got lots of light bulbs. There were some that fell down here. So I think the majority of this, I'll go through that in a minute, is car light bulbs. And this is a whole stack of light bulbs in here. We'll keep all of these because I never know what you're going to need. So if I put all these in, I've got an idea. Oops, just knock the mic off. 1 second. Where do my other bulbs go? Oh, close. Where did the bulb go? There it is. I've got an idea for bulb storage for all this, so we'll put that to one side. I think I've dropped another one. Oh, get rid of that. And the last one, which is self-adhesive leather again, or leatherette. Right, this is parts, apart from the wire which is useful to have, these are all old parts for my Scirocco. So rear brake cylinder, these I should have put back on. These fit on the radiator. Gold dust, these hold the rear beam, the torsion bar on the rear beam. You cannot get these anymore. So what else have we got? We've got, so we'll go back in here because this will go down relocated. Suspension rack top, more bulbs. They can go with the bulbs. I'm not even sure what some of this is. Horn for my that can definitely go out to cut that up. That's a cigarette lighter for the Scirocco. I've replaced it with the power one. Door trim surround. So all of this can go in the Scirocco pile at the garage. So that's that. So out of all of that, that's the rubbish pile, and there's not a lot left to go up there. So I'm quite happy with that. So I think the next thing you need to do is get rid of all of these bracketry. Obviously, I'll keep everything together because it might get put into the garage or relocated somewhere in here if we can get some surface space. So let's get rid of that, and then I'll put the shelves up, and then we can start putting stuff back. Yeah. Okay, so cleared all that. I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing. That's going outside. This is, you might have seen this stored up here. This is an old wardrobe door for my daughter's room. I'm just going to cut this down to the shelf, so you don't need to see me doing that, but just to let you know that I do actually reuse a lot of stuff. If it's useful, it's a decent size, I'll reuse it in the shed. So this will be turned into the shed, into the shelf. So yeah, I'm going to get this cut down. We'll get the brackets up. Okay, shelves up. I've just reconfigured a little bit of this and tidied it up and put my badges back on there, because I do like having my car badges on here. Next thing is to start clearing my workbench, I think. I think we'll start with some projects, just get those sort of stacked in this end. Barcode battler. I really need to get this out of its packaging and give it a test run. Put that there. Got a camp of model kits. I need to sort an 8-track out. Lego Lamborghini. These are parts for the. Oh yeah, this is the new carb for the quad bike. So it needs to go there. Lego kit. Okay, these are important. This is my head unit for my Scirocco and the new graphic equalizer, which you'll see me hopefully fit. It's going to be very complicated to fit. They can go up there for 32k safe. I didn't show it before, it was in there, but you didn't see it. This is the, what do you call it, the dynamo thing to start up my petrol powered, chainsaw powered longboard. I've had this a year, still not fitted it. So that can go there. Star Wars restraining bolt kit. Yeah, that needs to start that. Blank case. This is to start a Star Wars prop to store all my gear in it. So we're going to paint it all silver and make it look like it's at Star Wars. So just dump that somewhere up here as well. Will fit in there. Right, well, oops. So that can stay here with my Darryl tape. Get rid of that. Spoons. If you've been on the Facebook page, you'll see I did some spoon ring mending, so they can go up here. We'll keep this guy safe. I bought this guy, just painted him, just test out some army painter quick paints, fast paints, whatever they're called. Never got around to doing that yet, so we're going to put him up there so he doesn't get knocked over. And that's my project area nice and clear now. In fact, we'll put this somewhere. You all remembers these. Proper old school CDs in it. Again, this will go into my Scirocco, so just dump these up here for the moment. That's really cleared my desk off a little bit. Oh, need that tile for painting. I can go up here, out the way. Right, I think we need to have a look at this and tidying this up into places. Let's see if I've got any tubs. Now, remember I said I might have an idea of something to store these bulbs in. Well, I've got this storage container. I think this might do the job quite well. Pull these bits out. Let's finish getting these shelves though. I've got this is the last tub. I'm going to keep this for the moment. It's got the Scirocco parts in it. We'll just stick it down the end. Oh, that's useful. I might use the yellow ones. Hold on a second. Is that? Look at that. Much tidier. All the crap out the corners now. I've got all the project stuff that was in that corner here is all gone. So I've gained this space here. There's a battery. What's that? Rubbish. 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 That. Don't need this. Don't need that. Yeah. Yeah. Stage 1 of my workshop rebuild is getting there, or workshop tidy up's getting there. This is going to be so much helpful. Just getting the crap off the desk, the top here and onto there is just going to be useful for make sure it doesn't get lost with stuff being moved around. So in a week or two we'll tackle the area in there, and then it'll be back into here to clear all the bottom of the shelves out here and get our material storage looking better, let's say. So this has been useful. Got a little bit of tidying up to do, but I'm really happy with that it's looking. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the look of the shed. If there's anything you want to look at within the shed that you've seen, just give us a shout or put in the comment below, and I'll explain if you've seen anything that's of interest. Other than that, thanks for watching. Cheers.